Aloha. Welcome to all viewers who are curious about the complexities of research and eager to explore how we solve problems in nuanced and intricate ways. For a long time, valid causal inference has remained the holy grail of data analytics. Some researchers argue that causal inferences are impossible without experimental manipulation. However, American statistician Christensen challenges this notion, stating, "Many causal inferences are made without using the experimental framework. They are made by rendering other rival interpretations implausible." If a friend of yours unknowingly stepped in front of an oncoming car and was pronounced dead after being hit by the car, you would probably attribute her death to the moving vehicle. Your friend might have died as a result of numerous other causes, a heart attack, for example, but such alternative explanations are not accepted because they are not plausible. Indeed, non-experimental data can yield valid causal inferences when rival interpretations are ruled out. This approach, known in philosophy as inference to the best explanation, IBE, applies broadly across disciplines. For instance, to investigate causes of traffic accidents, researchers compared 300 accidents with 300 non-accidents in Georgia under similar conditions, including weather and lighting. The non-accidents occurred 1 mile earlier on the same road. They found a significant excess of accidents on roads with downhill gradients and curves exceeding 6 degrees. Similarly, to assess the effect of helmets in motorcycle crashes, cases were analyzed where 2 riders shared a motorcycle, one helmeted and the other not. This analysis revealed a 40% reduction in the risk of death for the helmeted riders. These studies demonstrate how carefully designed observational data can approximate experimental conditions. This approach also applies to political and economic studies. During the Cold War, the world was divided into 3 ideological blocs: the Communist bloc led by the Soviet Union, the Capitalist bloc led by the United States, and the non-aligned countries. Some nations were split into 2 entities, North and South Korea, mainland China and Taiwan, East and West Germany, and North and South Vietnam, due to ideological conflicts. Although these divisions were not randomized, their parallels in cultural heritage, language, and racial attributes, coupled with distinct political and economic systems, provide valuable observational data. Specifically, communist countries operated under central planning and class struggle policies, largely isolated by their self-imposed barriers and Western containment strategies. Over decades, these systems led to economic stagnation and severe human rights violations. While some researchers argued that communist ideology bore no causal relationship to these outcomes, observational comparisons by natural experiments suggest otherwise. Under comparable conditions, communist regimes consistently yielded undesirable consequences, strongly indicating causality. Colonialism is another good example. Daron Acemoglu and James Robinson, the recipients of the 2024 Nobel Prize in Economics, examined the long-term effects of Western colonization on economic development in their book, Why Nations Fail. They propose that colonization served as a natural experiment, introducing distinct political and economic systems in different regions, which led to enduring disparities in economic outcomes. The authors identify 2 primary types of institutions established by colonial powers. The first, extractive institutions, emerged in regions with dense indigenous populations or abundant natural resources. These systems concentrated power and wealth among a small elite, exploiting local populations and resources for their benefit. The second type, inclusive institutions, developed in areas with smaller native populations where European settlers needed to create systems offering economic opportunities and political rights to attract and sustain settlers. Over time, regions governed by extractive institutions, such as parts of Latin America and Africa, often experienced slower economic growth and greater inequality. In contrast, areas with inclusive institutions, such as North America, generally fostered stronger economic development, broader participation, and greater innovation. While economists cannot conduct randomized experiments with nations, colonization's natural experiment has provided a valuable framework for isolating the role of institutions in economic development, offering critical insights into why some nations thrive while others struggle. In summary, while randomized experiments are ideal, non-experimental methods, when carefully designed, allow for robust causal inferences. Whether in traffic safety, public health, geopolitics, and economics, such approaches continue to deepen our understanding of cause and effect relationships in complex systems. At the end of the day, please be aware that a discerning eye and a commitment to critical thinking are essential to uncovering insights, challenging conventional doctrines, and forging new pathways for understanding research. Mahalo.